Welcome back to the Change Dude podcast. I am your host, Saeed Rafe, and today's episode is about something that I believe most of us in the tech industry grapple with. Finding the right balance between our demanding jobs and personal lives. It's a challenge we all face at some point, especially when the stress of long hours in front of a screen starts to take a toll on our physical and mental health. In this episode, I'll be sharing my personal journey of how I turned things around from struggling with weight and poor health to developing a balanced lifestyle through running and kickboxing. It's a story of small changes adding up to big transformations, and if you are feeling stuck or overwhelmed, I will be giving you actionable steps to start your own journey towards a healthier and more balanced life. Let me start by taking you back to 2019. I was living in Pakistan, and like many of you working in tech, I was glued to my computer most of the day. My work hours were long and my lifestyle was sedentary. To be honest, I wasn't taking care of myself. My weight had shot up to 87 kilograms, and I could feel it. Not only physically, being out of breath after a short walk or feeling sluggish throughout the day, but it also began affecting my mental health. My productivity was down and my motivation was at an all-time low. I knew I needed a change, but it felt impossible. Between balancing work deadlines and personal responsibilities, finding time to go to gym or eat healthily seemed unrealistic. I would often start something, maybe a gym membership or a running routine, but within a couple of weeks, I would drop off. The cycle of inconsistency was frustrating. The tipping point for me came when I moved to the Netherlands in 2019. It was a fresh start in more ways than one. The tech industry here was fast-paced and I had to be at the top of my game to keep up. But I was far from feeling at my best, both mentally and physically. So I decided that if I wanted to succeed in my career and my personal life, something had to change. And it had to start with my health. After I moved to the Netherlands, I started solo running as a way to clear my mind. It wasn't easy at first. I would get winded just after a few minutes, and my body wasn't used to the exercise. But I stuck with it. It was a small, manageable step towards improvement. I didn't have a coach or a specific plan, but I knew that getting out and running, even just for a short distance, was better than sitting on the couch. During the pandemic lockdowns, like most of the world, I had extra time to myself. I always had an interest in martial arts, so I decided to try out kickboxing. There was something incredibly freeing about the sport. Its combination of discipline, physicality, and the focus was a perfect match for what I needed at that time. Kickboxing not only strengthened my body but also sharpened my mind. When the kickboxing school had to close for a month due to next lockdown, something surprising happened. I found myself returning to running. This time it felt different. Kickboxing had improved my overall condition and I was able to run longer distances without getting as tired. It felt like I had a new body, one that was finally working in sync with my mind. Along with these physical activities, I also started making small but important changes to my diet. I became more conscious of what I was eating, started cooking at home, and even began meal prepping for the week. These were not overnight changes, but small shifts that over time had a compounding effect. My weight came down to around 73 kilograms, within the normal range, and I felt more energized and productive than I had in years. My work performance improved drastically, and it felt as if my brain was working better, more organized, more focused. The biggest lesson I learned throughout this journey is the power of consistency. Tiny changes, when compounded over time, lead to extraordinary results. Running and kickboxing weren't just hobbies anymore. They became part of my identity and played a key role in finding balance in my life. Let me share a bit about how this all ties into my work in tech. You see, programming is often a stressful and mentally demanding job. Sitting for long hours can drain you, and it is easy to feel like you are stuck in a cycle of work, eat, sleep, repeat. But when I started integrating exercise and healthier habits into my routine, everything changed. I found that running, especially, helped me process my thoughts. It became my time to reflect on work problems, think creatively, and come back to my projects with a fresh perspective. Kickboxing, on the other hand, was my outlet for stress. It taught me discipline, focus, and resilience, qualities that are directly applicable to modern problem solving in tech. The process of learning new moves, practicing them repeatedly, and improving over time was strikingly similar to learning new programming languages or frameworks. Whether it was coding or kickboxing, the key to success was always consistency and persistence. Another game changer was the social aspect of these activities. I found running groups in my area, which made the sport more enjoyable. Being part of a community, even in a solo activity like running, gave me a sense of belonging and accountability. Plus, it was a great way to meet new people, build relationships, and strike a balance between work and social life. Now I know that work-life balance can feel elusive, especially in an industry like tech, where the pressure to perform is constant. But it is achievable. Here are a few action points that you can take to start your own journey towards finding balance. Number 1. Start small. Whether it is running, going for a walk, or trying a new sport like kickboxing, start with something small. You don't need to dive into a strict regimen. The key is to begin and then gradually build on your efforts. Number 2 is consistency over intensity. The secret to long-term success is consistency. It is better to go for a 20-minute run 3 times a week than to try and run a marathon once and burn out. The same goes for diet. Focus on small, healthy changes that you can maintain. Number 3, find an activity you enjoy. This is crucial. If you hate the gym, you are not going to stick with it. Try different activities until you find something you genuinely enjoy, whether it is running, cycling, swimming, or a martial art like kickboxing. Number 4, create a routine. Set aside time each week for exercise and meal prep. It doesn't need to be a massive time commitment. For example, I go to the gym 3 times a week and run twice a week. It's manageable and it fits into my schedule without overwhelming me. Number 5, join a community. Socializing through physical activities can keep you motivated. Whether it is a running group or a kickboxing class, being part of a community can help keep you accountable and make the experience more enjoyable. Number 6, don't be afraid to experiment. Just like in tech, experimentation is key. Try new activities, new foods, or new routines. See what works best for you and adjust accordingly. What works for someone else might not work for you, and that's okay. The transformation I experienced wasn't just physical. By making these small changes and sticking with them, I noticed a huge improvement in my mental clarity, focus, and overall productivity at work. Programming, which can be mentally exhausting, became more enjoyable. I felt more creative and energized, and I was able to approach problems with a clearer, more organized mindset. Finding balance in life doesn't mean sacrificing your career. In fact, prioritizing your health can enhance your work performance. The lessons I have learned through running, kickboxing, and improving my diet are applicable in every aspect of life. From work to personal relationships, it's all about making tiny, consistent changes and allowing them to compound over time. So, that's my story of how I revolutionized my life through running and kickboxing with combination of my work in the tech industry. I hope it inspires you to take the first step towards finding your own balance. Remember, you don't have to make huge changes overnight. Start small, be consistent, and over time you will see the extraordinary results. In our next episode, we will be tackling a topic that I know many self-taught developers struggle with: escaping tutorial hell. We will talk about how to grow as a self-taught developer and build the skills you need to move forward in your tech career. Thank you for tuning in to the Change Dude podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your network. Keep making small changes, and I'll see you in the next episode. This is your host, Said Rafe, signing off.